Hi everybody, my name is Devin Pierce. This is Odin. Odin here is the youngest of my 3 biological children, and he is just a bundle of cuteness wrapped up in a whole lot of attitude. This is Dad's Class. Today's episode of Dad's Class, guys, is going to be a little different from our typical episode. Today's episode is going to feature a bunch of little snippets that are more of a vlog style, as I recorded them while we were moving. And if you didn't notice from the title of this video, we're talking about moving with small children. Let's get into it, shall we? So when you're packing, you're going to have boxes that are unfolded, and you're going to want to put them into being boxes, into full boxes, right? So when you do that, sometimes this bottom flap isn't so sturdy. Sturdy? So, you're going to pick a box, you're going to sacrifice it, right? You're going to have boxes like this. Chunks missing out of them. You know what these make? Great toys for your small children. You just toss it on the floor like that. And eventually one of your kids will come around and be like, oh my God, can I have that? And you'll be like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then they use it for random objects. And it's such a simple thing, but it lets them be entertained by something that isn't their toys, so you can pack their toys. Moving is also a really great time to make large piles of trash of everything that you don't actually need in your life. Now, I'm going to take a little page from the old show there, Moving Spaces, I think it was, or Trading Spaces, something like that. And they would have a giveaway, a keep, and a throwaway pile. Take less and less, keep less and less, and try really minimize and only pick things that actually matter to you. Currently, we're going with the theory of, if I haven't touched it in a year, it's garbage. We've lived here for just a little bit over a year, so basically anything that's still in the box from when we moved here is not coming with us to the next house. It's done. Let me know in the comments below of this video if you guys have a theory or a system with regards to how you purge unnecessary items from your life. Just like with when you're cooking, I'm a big fan of utilizing a high chair or booster seat to secure your children of the smaller persuasion while you're packing. So as you can see, that footage was taken while we were still at the old house. So this would have been at the end of February, beginning of March, when we first started our moving process. It's currently the first weekend of May, and we're still not done unpacking. It has been a bit of a process. Now, in addition to those tips for when you're still at your old home, looking back on it now, if I were to say anything, limit your time. Limit how much time you have to pack. When you have yourself, we have a whole month to get out of this place, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. For some reason, we tend to drag our feet. We tend to drag our feet as human beings. If we have a lot of time, we're going to take a lot of time, and then we get pushed into that crunch hour where at the end of the day, or the end of the week, the end of the month, you are running your arse off trying to get everything packed, because you didn't use your time effectively. These next couple of little segments are going to be after we moved, and then we'll discuss a few additional tips. If you can't take the time off work to do your move efficiently, get a friend or a family member to come hang out with your kids so you can get a little bit more done. We've been trying to squeeze things in during the hours that the kids are sleeping, and quite frankly, there just are not enough hours in the day, and we're both still working. And it's a lot. A great thing to prioritize when you're moving is your children's toys, so you can set up zones for them to play. If you have really small children like our 1-year-old, having a different play zone set up at each level of your home so you can pack them with you, take them to where you're working for that little set time period so they can entertain themselves while you do it. So they're still in your proximity, right? Underneath this pile of clothes is my daughter's new Incredibles bedding. I bought her a whole new bedding system because the house we moved into had beds which were larger than what we had
bedding for. So we had to do it regardless. But this is something I would recommend for anybody who's moving small children into a new home, so your children can feel like it's their home. We let the kids pick these up themselves, as well as one new decorative poster, so that they could make it their new room and have a sense of themselves in it. Getting your children's opinions on new decorations for their room also can give you some insight into how their preferences or favorite items have changed. Good pro tip there. Maybe you're still buying princess things for your daughter when she's actually into Incredibles and superheroes, apparently. Always unicorns, though. Always. Always unicorns. And it's really great for your kids. It helps take some of the stress away from the process of moving, which something that we as parents don't often think about is how things stress our kids out.
You might think while the baby's sleeping is a great time to get some moving around done and unpacking your stuff. Well, if your experience is anything like mine, every single time you try to do this, that's when you need to bring something into the room the baby's sleeping in. So I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice that you're going to think is very contradictory to helping you move with small children. When your baby's napping, nap. One of the reasons I suggest that you nap with your child when they're napping is that if you're into the co-sleeping aspect of it especially, or just giving them that extra comfort of your being in the same bed with them, because a lot of it, you're going to be sitting down with toys while you're trying to unpack and move things around. So give yourself that time with them. Take the extra time to put them to sleep, not just let them put themselves to sleep. And make sure that you and your child still maintain your healthy relationship through the moving process. Yes, moving is a priority, but your children still need to be too.
So as I already mentioned, it is the first weekend of May, and we are still not entirely unpacked. I would say 90% of our things are moved into the home, but we're still picking and bettering where things are located in the house to make things more efficient and what have you. With that, I'm going to put a clip up here somewhere. While this clip is playing, you can see me playing with our youngest child. And what I did was post this actually on Facebook, I believe, as well, and said, my spouse wonders why I can't get any unpacking done. If I had to make a few more suggestions which could have made our lives easier while we were doing the moving process so that you don't make those same mistakes, one of the first things I would have to say is take more time. We had a poor situation for our previous residency, and that forced us into moving before we were entirely prepared to move. So we couldn't take time off to focus on getting moved, and therefore it took us almost 2 whole months to get unpacked. If you have the option, wait a little longer, save a little more, so you can at least take a couple extra days to really push and get your packing unpacked. I also touched there on setting up your kids and how you want to try and maintain a strong relationship, but I kind of mostly focus on the infant. When you have the 2 older children like we do, they're pretty good about entertaining themselves, and it's really a point of just ensuring you're still interacting with them with bedtime stories or going to the park, taking a break once in a while to spend time with your kids. School-age children are actually the most difficult because of the fact that they are spending so much time in school. You have less time between when they get home or get up in the morning before they go to really interact with them so that you can ensure your relationship is staying strong throughout the process of moving. A slight twist on the children who are large enough and mentally capable enough to assist you, or even into the teenage years and such, but all my kids are under 7. So what they're able to help you with moving is limited because they're small, and also They don't always understand everything you're asking them to do, and you end up spending a little bit extra time having to explain it. But these teaching moments are actually really great memories to make with your children. Educating them on how things work in the moving process can prepare them for when they're moving into their own home. Some of the things you can get children to do when they are in the under 7 category can be as simple as helping you pick which drawers their clothing will now go in. If your child is strong enough, you can get them to carry a few extra things up and down the stairs for you. Even help you pick where things are hung on the wall or placed on the wall. My suggestion to you is, if you've been keeping up with the How to Dad podcast, live every Sunday on Mixer, links in the description, we talk about how you need to give decisions to your child of a smaller variety, meaning that you still get the outcome you want, but they got to make a decision. So, I want this giraffe to be hung here or here. They get to pick which spot, but you still get what you wanted hung on the wall, hung on the wall. Once you have the majority of things sorted out, and you can guess or pick how you would describe what the majority would be. But once you have that, pick a date on the calendar, set it up with your kids and say, listen, we're almost done unpacking into this new house. So we are going to have a family whatever night. Really settle into the house. You haven't quite nested at this point. You've been moving boxes here, moving boxes there, unpacking this here, tossing that over there. But you haven't truly settled into or nested into the house. When I'm making reference to nesting, I am, of course, making reference to the same process in which pregnant women reorganize and reorganize and reorganize all the things for their baby in preparation for its arrival. That same nesting process is actually what we do as a family unit when we move into a new home with small children. Although it's not really talked about in that fashion, it is a really good comparison. Moving can be stressful, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, it's stressful on your kids too. So even if they are asking a bunch of questions and you feel like you've had enough, take the time to answer your questions. It's a fear of the unknown. That is the best way to describe what your child is going through. They don't really understand the concept of moving, especially if they are really little. They might not remember ever moving previously, even if you have. It can be very scary. They don't know. Well, they just don't know. Any question, no matter how silly or off the wall or even completely unrelated to moving it might be, is an important question that you need to answer for your children to feel safe and secure. This is very important for your child's overall development and crucial in ensuring that they have a good, safe move. So I hope you found this video extra helpful in determining ways to make moving with your children a little bit easier, or maybe just it is going to help you be more prepared for what you might be going through if you're looking at moving in the future. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of pictures up here. You guys go check out these videos next, and be sure to let me know what you think of the content on this channel. It's still a pretty new channel, so I'm looking for anybody's input in helping me make it better. See you guys on Tuesday.